So why does nobody ever talk about why engineering is so hard? Because everybody says, "Oh, engineering's hard," but why? What makes it so hard? I have a couple different theories, and here are three of them. Number one is, of course, the math. Like, there's a ton of math. It's like you do calculus one, calculus two, calculus three, like, right, and that's not easy, but that's all stuff that you take as a math major, blah blah blah, other majors, but so that's one, the math. But then the math is applied math later on. Like, you're taking all these things you learn and it's applied to different concepts. Like if you study electrical signals and systems, or even vibrations and mechanical. So number one's the math, and the number two, the thing that I think makes it just so hard, is just the sheer volume of work. I mean, you can tell me in the comments what your all's experience with this is, but the amount of time that's required to do some of this stuff. So, I mean, even a homework, maybe a homework is 5 questions, and that's, especially in the upper level classes, that's pretty common. At the lower level classes, maybe you get, and you're like in a calculus, maybe you get 20 problems of homework, but those can be solved probably a little quicker. But then in the more advanced, maybe you get like 5 questions, but each one takes 1 to 2 hours to do, and even one question, there could be one that takes 3 hours. So when you think about that, but then you stack up 4 classes, you could be, if just say on average 3 hours per homework for 4 classes a week. That's 12 hours of homework plus obviously studying for the class. And realistically, though, that's an average, so it's pretty honest, higher. And but then also the number three thing, I know I've been talking about this for a while, that I think makes it so difficult is how in many of the engineerings, you're taking math, you're taking something that's happening in the real world. So, for example, electricity, and I'll talk about electricity because I can. That's what I studied. So I studied electrical. Think about like electricity, right? You're using math to model it and show what's happening from a mathematical perspective, but you have to then, whether you're studying mechanical, chemical, electrical, you have to then be able to bridge what's happening in the math to what's happening in the real world. And you can understand, it's easy to understand either, not easy, but if you focus only on one, like what's happening on like a physical realm, in the physical realm, what's happening, if you focus only on that, you can understand it. But then if you focus only on the math, you can understand it. What engineering does, what I feel like best way I could describe it, is it sort of fills the gap between the two, and building that bridge in your mind and being able to understand how what's happening in the math translates to what's going on in the real